I made over $15,000 in profit on this one single trade. I'm going to show you how I did it right now. So if you come over to my screen here, this is Jets. Jets is an ETF of basically all of the airlines. It's comprised of Southwest Airlines, United Airlines, Delta Airlines, etc. And you can actually go and see what's put into it. But if you don't want to trade a single airline, like I don't want to trade Delta, well, you can come over and trade Jets as a whole. It's one of my favorite stocks to trade, and that's rare because I don't usually love trading ETFs, but this thing moves more like a stock because, let's face it, it's a volatile industry. Taking out everything that's happened lately, it is a volatile industry. There are a lot of moving parts going on in the airlines industry. So this is going back into June of 2023. And the reason I'm pulling this out is this was a trade that was made with members of the community. So where to start here? Let's look at this from both a swing trading perspective and a long-term trading perspective. I traded it from a long-term, but going back and looking at this and reanalyzing it, you had two really good swing trades in here that you could have made almost the same amount of profit in. So let's start with the long-term trade and what I actually did. The first thing that I noticed, and I always watch this, we kind of have this consolidation channel here. So when I'm in a consolidation channel, what are my thoughts? Well, my thoughts are, I know where it's going to stop on the top side. I know where it's going to stop on the bottom side. And what will push me out above the top part or below the bottom part? Well, it's going to be volume. So volume is going to be something that we're going to have to pay attention to. So when I saw this thing, stochastic was really nothing. We had this consolidation channel going on, and then we started to get this little creep up. See this little creep up here? So let's draw that horizontal line. You started to see that we were kind of breaking through. Now, of course, we didn't have any of this part of the chart. We were just, all we had was up to right here, of course. So looking at it, as soon as I see something creeping out, my eyes, and by creeping out, I mean these engulfing candlesticks forming, my eyes go to saying, all right, our trend is going in the right direction. And as you can see, this is the part of the trade right here. Look at the volume. Just zoom out and look at the volume. You can see, look at the direction. The direction is increasing. That means that we're starting to get buyers coming into the stock. That's something that I realized, and that's when I started to execute this trade. So I looked at this and said, all right, here's my resistance point. I'm in the sweet spot. I know that. I need one engulfing candlestick that came right here, right there on June 6th. So when that happened, I'm in the trade. And if you come over here and look at it, I'm actually running into the 100-day moving average. But remember, this is a long-term trade. I'm not super concerned about what's going on with moving averages. Maybe there are places that I take profits here and there, but overall, I'm looking at this chart saying, okay, now I have some room to run. I can probably get up into this area. And you can see, looking back, it went well beyond that. So now that we're in the trade, what happens? Well, not a whole lot. We just let this thing go. And there's something really important here that I want to show people. We're in the trade, we're moving positive. All of a sudden, I just talked about this, how this is a very big resistance point. And look what happened right here. You actually pulled back. So you actually went from about $20.69 and you pulled all the way back down to $19.89. The average trader, the person that doesn't know what they're doing, the person that doesn't understand trend, what are they going to do there? They are going to exit the trade. They're going to exit the trade because they think that this is the end of the line. Look, we hit it. It's the end of the line. No, that's not what we do. We pay attention to the trend. When you're in a long-term trade, you need to focus and say, I'm only paying attention to the trend. I'm only exiting when the trend tells me to exit. So many people, so many novice traders think that as soon as you get a pullback, it's over. No, it's not over. We're just making these W formations going up. And that's why this turned out to be such a good trade. You had these resistance points built in. Do not exit trades if the long-term trend doesn't tell you to exit the trade. Now, where do we exit? Where do we exit from the long-term perspective? Well, you can see we kind of created this base right here, and then we skyrocketed up. You started to get some craziness happening over here on the long-term trend. We started to kind of pull back. And this is when I decided to exit the trade. I saw that we had this pullback right here. We had this pullback down, these two big days. And not only were they just big days down as far as price action goes, look at the volume. The volume was very big. So when something like that happens, I say, okay, let's just put it in the radar, put it in the back of your head that we're probably approaching an exit point. And if you look at this, we started to get this cross here. But I didn't even make it to this cross. And so here's two things that you can do when you're long-term trading. And this is where the subjectivity comes in and the experience. Looking at this overall chart, I saw this big pullback and I said, you know what? I exited the position right here. This is where my exit was. It was on the 19th of July. And I did it because I thought that admittedly, I got lucky here. I got lucky that this thing didn't continue in this direction. It very well could have. But the fact that I saw so many sellers coming in here and I started to see the weekly stochastic kind of tripping down, I decided to exit the trade. Not only that, I also realized that this was a really fast run up, especially for an ETF. We were hitting, and also if you just zoom back further, we were hitting these resistance points. So there was a lot of things that came in that made me say, exit this trade. And those of you that follow me on a religious basis, I don't typically do that. I do not typically do something where I exit. I usually will wait until red line crosses under yellow. But for those reasons that I just stated, that's why I was able to exit the trade. And so important right now. Understanding patterns, trading the same stock over and over, understanding its behavior. Every stock is a living being, right? Every stock is going to have, and you could see here with Jets, it's pretty obvious. Anytime that Jets kind of gets to this point, it fails. This point in here, yes, it snuck out here in 2021. What didn't sneak out? But look, it just kind of sits at that same point over and over and over for years and years and years. This is from 2020 to 2023. It didn't break that except for the craziest market I've ever seen in my lifetime of 2021 where things just skyrocketed. So you have to understand that it's going to probably run into this resistance point and fall down. That's where I executed the trade. Now there's another way to do this. The other way to do this is over on the swing trading chart. For you swing traders that like to be in and out of stocks, well, this was a beautiful trade as well. Look, we had amazing volume. I circled this earlier in the show. Increasing volume. Now, of course, you couldn't see the right side of the volume, but you could tell that volume was starting to increase on a day-to-day basis. Number two, we were moving through the sweet spot and we got to the overbought area. There were multiple places that you could have added here. You could have added on top of the 100 if you're a risk taker. You could have added here. You could have added here. You probably could have added here. Now, you could have exited your trade here, and I would have advised that on the snapback, you exit your trade. But what happened after that? Big engulfing candlestick, no reason to exit based on trend, and you could have probably exited around the same spot that I did over here on July 19th. Now, here's the other thing about this one. If you really wanted to, if you're a quick swing trader, you could have probably gone short right here. You probably could have jumped in here on this, made a couple of dollars that day, and then rebounded it right back up. But the beauty of Jets, the beauty of the airlines, they have volatility. And for me, I like trading things with volatility. And the fact that I can get an ETF that actually has volatility is a really big win. And it's why I follow it on a daily basis. I'm actually if we just zoom this out, I have a tracker share on this right now. I am waiting to go short on this. I have had a tracker in here since December. Now, here we go. When we talk about volatility, look how much this thing has moved up since let's see here. Where are we? December, right in here. This thing has basically moved from 23 up to about 27 since December. But look, it's running into, this is what I was thinking. I thought it was going to run into here. Actually, I thought it was going to run into here and fail. But up here, I knew this was kind of my safety net. It was going to hit that and fall back down. And you can see it is absolutely going to fall back down. This is going to be a really nice short. I'll probably get it down to 22, hopefully get it down to 20. But either way, we're going to get a nice run on Jets. So this is just one of the trades that I'm currently in right now with a tracker share. If you're interested in following this trade, following any trade, I go live multiple times a week to the community and we talk about these trades. This is something that we talk about on a consistent basis. And Jets is going to print money at some point. It's just a matter of when. We're waiting for that stochastic. If it's something that interests you, you want to be in tune with these types of trades that are made in the community, stocks that the community finds, stocks that I find, click on the link below. It's a Patreon link, $35 a month right now. Give it a shot. I might be speaking Chinese to you right now. Trust me, this is a new language. You will learn it. It is really not that complicated. Repetition is key here, and having a great community behind you is the place to go to help you on that journey. Now, if you want a little bit more in depth, actually a lot more in depth, everything in a one-stop shop about my way of trading, click this video right here. It's about 2.5 hours long. It's chaptered. Anything you need to know about trading with my method of trading, you're going to find there. Go check it out.